Hello and welcome back to my channel, my Noahide family. This is just a quick overview wrap-up of our Noahide conference that we've just had this week in Melbourne. I thought that I would do it in a few segments because there are every day and every session was invigorating, and my interpretation of it and the interpretation of those presentations by the others, we all came away with, we all picked up on different parts of it that had a resonation with us personally or opened a thought pattern. And then, I wonder if type of moment. And so every part of the conference had, overall was fantastic, but each and every individual delegate had highlights that, kind of resonated with them. And I think that's wonderful that that happened. And all of us were just overwhelmed. Suddenly it did happen. So we all did manage to come together for the conference. So I returned home last night, and I know through the week I just did not get a video out simply because I was too busy and having too much of a good time with the rest of the Noahides to take time out. But I know you'll forgive me. I didn't get the women's Women of Wisdom Wednesday weekly one, but I'll make up for it in the next couple of weeks. So we did have an exciting and meaningful and certainly an invigorating conference in Melbourne. It went from the 5th to the 9th of February. It was 3 full days, and then that, an afternoon and morning. The content was absolutely excellent. I have to say that. I've been to quite a few conferences of different topics and things over my years, and I would say in all sincerity that this conference, apart from the fact that it was something I was very, very, very interested in and wanted, but I felt it had meaning. Everyone was invigorated, and it wasn't just me. And every day you'd think, well, what can be there today that will top yesterday? And it always did. So the conference content was excellent. There is no denying that. The group dynamics was fantastically electric. I can't think of any other way to describe it. And I'll talk more about that in another video. So the take-home message briefly was that there were really too many life-changing and enhancing moments at that conference to describe, because each of us individually had some special take-home message from it. So you had to be there to sort of understand that. But it was just brilliant, and some of those life-changing and enhancing moments, I am going to perhaps try to share some of those. I'll touch on some of those things in other videos. The ones that I picked up on for me, I'm not going to try to say that I understood what everybody else's light bulb moment was. That's not for me to understand or to divulge. But I know we all had our own, that moment, that special moment in lots of things, not just one thing. So we'll come back to that in other videos. There are so many fantastic people to thank for making this conference possible, and not only making it possible, but being there in the background doing a lot of hard work and keeping it all together. I cannot begin to thank everybody. There were lots of people behind the scenes that I didn't even know about. But just ones that come to my mind that I saw most of was Rabbi Dr. Shimon Cowan and his lovely wife, Mrs. Cowan. There was Chaim and Ronald, and you'll both know who you are, who were tireless, and a host of other people, and that even made comments and said, oh, they didn't really know what was going on, but, oh, isn't that wonderful? So everything was positive, even from the point of view of people who probably didn't have a full concept of what we were all about at that particular time. So that was really, we got positive feedback everywhere. And in one of the videos, I'm going to tell you about our bookshop adventure. Oh, it was wonderful, wonderful. So these people did come together and truly did make our conference a shining success for us. It was intimate enough in numbers, it was small enough numbers to be intimate and family-like, and yet all the ones that did come, we had broader understandings of different types of things and came from different walks of life. So it was just a beautiful melting pot, a big cooking pot that we all came into and were part of. So it was just, formed relationships and bonds with those people that otherwise have been at the end of a Zoom session or social media, etc. So just, I can't think of really the right words, but it was a shot in the arm. There's no doubt about it. Some of the conference content now, a lot of it actually, was recorded, and that will be the property of the conference itself, and certainly the organisers who made it possible to record some of those things. So I no doubt believe that in time some of that is going to be released, and obviously it would have to be edited, and certainly I'll make it my business to let you know where you can, when and where you can view some of it. Some of the subject matter was marvellous, and I will come upon that in another video to just give you an idea. But I myself, for me personally now, I'm saying that I've been physically refueled and spiritually recharged, and I don't know how else to describe that. I think it is, again, it comes back to the community. We, Noahides, we came together as a community of like-minded people. We had the same fears, we had similar questions, or they had answers they could give somebody else. There was, it was just, I could have honestly just sat back and viewed those group of people, beautiful, beautiful people, and just that would have been lesson enough for me. The kindness, the generosity to each other, the different personalities, and look, we did a lot of laughing. I have to say there was a lot of laughter and joyousness, and I think that tells you a lot about a group, doesn't it? No one was afraid to speak up. Everyone felt comfortable, although we basically were physical strangers. And sort of only met in social media and things like that. But everybody came together. There was nobody that felt left out or anything. It was a great big melting pot. Remind me to tell you about in another video, I'll have to do that. The Elevator Club. That we've got a photo of that. I think it's on one of the social media platforms now. So even when the day was finished, even when the conference day, each day was finished, we all did some little separate things, and then we'd all seem to gather in a bunch outside in our hotel in the corridor in an area where there was lounges and little tables, and we'd have little snackies and laughter, and it was sort of like being in a living room all together, I guess. So that made it special too. So it wasn't just the actual conference format, it was the private and after, you know, and some of them went off for a drive one night around the beaches and things like that. So, you know, there was all sorts of things to suit everybody's personality and age and activity, etc. So so this coming together physically, it was in this one venue, you know, all being under the same roof, I guess. It is so special, and it's special whether there be two like-minded people, 6, you know, 12, 20, whatever, you know, 200, whatever the figure would be. It's that coming together physically, and the physical and the animation of the whole group, and the atmosphere is just charging and everyone's happy. They're so happy. And it's, you know, there's something medicinally correct about being in a room of happy individuals. It's therapeutic. That's what we all need, you know, it's good for the soul. And you know, when you say your prayers, it's got more meaning. You feel more as though you want to be more prayerful. It just does something. And I think there would be some of you that know exactly what I'm talking about, because you've probably been to some of these conferences. I know in America they have a few regional ones, etc. So it is a lovely, lovely thing to do. It's a gift for you. It's a gift for you to give to Hashem, for you all to come together in the one venue for a few hours or a few days. So that physicality, that animation, creates an electrifying atmosphere which we all benefit from. And I guess largely for us in Australia and in New Zealand, it's an isolation thing, and it's unavoidable. I've talked about that before. It was such a big distance to travel from A to B. But I would say, based on my experience, and I think I could be speaking for the rest that attended our conference, that, do you know what, even if you do a regional or a state one, if you've reached out and there's 3 or 4 of you, or even 2 maybe, you know, and another 2 or something, come together in a regional area, even if it's only for a day or overnight or a weekend or something. Try and do that. Even just that, a little dose of that is a marvelous thing. You know, you don't have to have a conference venue. If you're going somewhere nice, look, let's just say you went to a regional town in your state, you found a suitable hotel or motel or whatever you want to stay at, and, you know, you don't have to book a venue. You can say, well, the weather's good, let's go to the park here and just sit and talk, or we'll go down there to that place and eat, and we can continue our discussion. You don't have to have screens and conference banners or anything. You can just do it on the run. You know, let's all go for a little walk or have a little picnic in the park. So I ask you to do that. Try and do it. It's not. It's no good saying, look, there's not enough of us. I'm sure if you ask around, you'll find 1 or 2 others, and you might know them, but you can say, look, how about we, you know, you can have your own separate accommodation. You don't have to come together like a big united family, but let's meet here or such and such, you know, and have a talk. So do it. So isolation is you can put up with it, but isolation in terms of group dynamics and group enthusiasm doesn't, you know, you don't get any of that infiltrating through. But when you're together, somebody says something in the group, it triggers another conversation, and that someone adds to that, and it goes on, and that's the richness of that coming together as a like-minded group. Questions and answers. Friendships are formed. Acquaintances that were just online now you know, sit down having coffee together and you're in the flesh, it makes things so much more personal and valuable. So, you know, don't worry if it's only small numbers, because it'll trigger something. It'll trigger more in the future. It'll trigger thoughts and newness and enthusiasm as well. It does, coming together as we did in Melbourne. I'm now speaking as we did. That coming together in person, it created that awareness of we were belong to something. There was an awareness around us and within us of now we belong together. We're like an extended family now. They are part of that. You know, the ladies that I met there that I hadn't physically met, you know, they're my loving sisters. You know, I've got an extended family. The men that were there, they're loving brothers, you know. Suddenly now we're not alone. We've forged a relationship with those people we've met physically that we would be comfortable enough to ring and say, hey, listen, you know, now we can sort of say if you're troubled or anything. So you've got backup as well. If you want to think, oh, I don't know about this, I need to talk to someone about this. So those things were forged at this conference. So you're belonging, and that belonging is because we're a like-minded group, and there's a belonging to others of the same mind and spirit. That's probably the best way. So we know where each of us are coming from, and we have a commonality. You know, we have that one true God that we are devoted to. So that, and I think I'm not wanting to be trivial about it, but, you know, I kept thinking throughout it, it's like we're a tribe, you know, the Noahide tribe of Noahides. It just rolled off my tongue and I felt comfortable with it, you know. Noahide tribe of Australia and New Zealand. That's really what we were. Coming together, like we had a tribal link. And that makes me feel very good inside. Very good. I think if someone asked me, you know, what's your beliefs and feelings and things, I'd be happy to say, well, actually, I'm part of the Noahide tribe. Open up a conversation, wouldn't it? Oh, what's that? I just happen to have a card here. Let me show you where it all comes from. So I would say that we're looking at more conferences and videos and things leading up to conferences and post-conferences. So this is something I encourage you all to do. I will do some more videos on some of the topics, looking at it from my angle and what I got out of it. So it doesn't mean to say that what I say in those videos is all there is to say about that topic, but I can only describe my takeaway message from it, and that might help you. So I will do some more conference videos. Now, I could go on forever telling you how I felt and I know how the others were feeling as well, but I think you get the message of what it was like. And so just in closing on this introductory video about our conference that we had in Melbourne 2023, that from the Noahide tribe of Australia and New Zealand, may those of you around the world be inspired to come together in your own state or region, even if it's only for a day or a weekend, and just come together as a group and get that wonderful takeaway feeling. You deserve it. Do it for yourself. Form your own little local tribe of Noahides. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you to all the people who helped at the conference for the Noahides we had, 2023. Just tremendous effort, and stay happy, stay enthused, and remember, you belong to a group. You belong to a tribe of Noah. Please take care, and God bless you.